Hello everybody and welcome to Hands-on SolidWorks, and I'm the instructor of this course. I'm a mechanical design engineer. I have a master's degree in CAD/CAM. I'm a professional SolidWorks certified. I have 10 years of CAD experience in general and 5 years of experience in SolidWorks. Let's overview this course. This course is 8 sections. We will start with the first one, which is touring the user interface. Here we will learn how to launch the software, and we will get introduced to the user interface and the basic elements in it. Then we will move to section 2, which is 2D sketching. Here we will learn how to create 2D entities like lines, circles, rectangles, slots, arcs, and so on. Then we will move to section 3, and here we will talk about sketch editing and dimensioning. This section is relatively long because we will learn how to edit our sketches, like how to trim them, how to add fillets, chamfers, and other operations, and we will learn how to add dimensions to our sketches. And these operations are considered as a refinement of what we will learn in section 2. Then we will move to section 4, which is relatively long too, and here we will talk about sketch-based features. In this section, we will start talking about 3D modeling, and we will create our first 3D model. We will learn how to create new features that depend on sketches. That's why everything we will learn in section 1, section 2, and section 3 is very important to be able to learn what we want to learn in section 4. Then we will move to section 5, which is other 3D tools. Here we will learn how to assign a material to the 3D models we created. We will learn how to measure the mass. We will learn how to measure distances, diameters, and lengths in 3D. In section 6, we will talk about assembly design. In this section, we will assemble 3D models, which means by reaching section 6, you should be able to create 3D models. You will need to create some 3D models, and here you will learn the tools to assemble them and assemble your first assembly. Then, in section 7, we will talk about detailing. You will need to share your designs with other people, like colleagues, manufacturers, or machine operators, and that's why you need to provide some drawing. And in section 7, we will learn how to create these drawings. Section 8 is the practical part of this training course, and here we will model, assemble, and create some detailed drawing of a Stirling engine. We will introduce the principle of Stirling engine first, and then we will move to the modeling procedure. Through this section, you will learn new techniques on the level of part creation, assembly, and drawing, and it will be a good practice of everything you already learned in this training course. When it comes to the prerequisites, there's no prior knowledge of SolidWorks is required since we will start from the scratch. And for sure, you should have the desire to learn SolidWorks. And for the course goals, we will gain a basic understanding of SolidWorks. We will be able to create 3D models, and we will be able to modify them, and we will be able to create assemblies, and we will be able to manage them, and finally, we will be able to create detailed drawing. So what are we waiting for? Let's get started. Hello everybody and welcome to section 1. Before we go deep in SolidWorks, we will learn how to launch the software, how to create a new file, and we will tour the interface. To launch SolidWorks, double-click this icon. As you can see, we have 3 main options here: part, assembly, and drawing. Later on in this course, we will talk about each one in detail. For now, we will start with part. So, double-click part. This is the main interface we will deal with during designing parts. This area is called the ribbon bar. It contains most of the commands and features we will use during this course. These tabs are called the ribbon tabs. This area of the screen is called the Feature Manager design tree. It shows the commands we use to create parts in the order they were used. This area of the screen is called the working area. Here you can see your created sketches and parts. As you can see, the icon size is relatively small. To increase the icon size, go to Options, go all the way down to Button Size, and then select medium. Don't worry about this message for now, just hit OK. In the next video, we will talk about the logic behind 3D modeling. Understanding the 3D concept. To understand the 3D concept, we need to answer two questions. The first one is, what does 3D mean? And the second one, how can we describe a body in the 3D space? 3D stands for three-dimensional. Basically, it means a body that has 3 dimensions at least, like a cube. In our case, we are talking about 3 axes, X, Y, and Z. Let's start with 0-dimensional. When we say 0-dimensional, that means we only can see a point. Then 1-dimensional, in this case, you can see a line. In other words, we are talking about a length, or an axis. 2-dimensional means that you can see 2 different lines in 2 directions, like a length and a width. In other words, we are talking about an area, like the area of this square. When talking about 3-dimensional, that means we can see 3 different lines in different directions, like a length, a width, and a height. In other words, we are talking about a volume now. To summarize what we learned, when talking about 0-dimensional, we are talking about a point. When talking about 1-dimensional, we are talking about a line, like in this case. And when talking about 2-dimensional, we are talking about an area, like in this case. And finally, when talking about 3-dimensional, we are talking about a volume, like in this case here. So when talking about 3D, we are talking about volumes. In other words, we are talking about bodies, like in this picture. A very important concept to introduce is planes. A plane is a flat, 2-dimensional surface that extends infinitely far. For now, if we want to form a plane, we need 2 axes. Let's have a look at this picture here. If we have a look at the x-axis and on the y-axis, between them we can form the xy plane. This plane extends until infinity. It's a flat and 2-dimensional. 2-dimensional because we used the x and the y to form this plane. By the same logic, we can look at the y-axis and the z-axis, and between them we can form what we call the yz plane, and it has the same properties as the xy plane. But notice that it's perpendicular to the xy plane. And finally, if we have a look at the z-axis and at the x-axis, we can form the xz plane between them. So now, to talk about the 3D space, we need 3 axes. And these 3 axes form 3 planes: xy, xz, and yz. These 3 planes are perpendicular to each other, and this is what we need to build or to describe a body in the 3D space. Next, we will talk about model views and orientation. Model views and orientation. Since we are talking about 3D bodies, they will have many views and many orientations. Let's have a look at this body here. Here we have the xy plane, the zx plane, and the yz plane. These are the 3D planes which describe 3D models. In order to be able to see this model clearly, we should be able to rotate the view, to zoom to a view, and to change the display state, and to have sections in some cases. Let's start with rotating the view. To do so, you need to click the mouse middle button, hold, then move the mouse in any direction you want. And now we can rotate the view as you can see here. You can stop it with releasing the middle button. We can zoom in and zoom out using the scroll. Roll the mouse scroll to zoom in and to zoom out. It's very important to place the cursor somewhere very close to the model, so it will be in the center of the screen. If you try to zoom somewhere here, the model will be in a different direction. That's why it's better to have the cursor here and then to zoom. Then, if you wish to go back to the initial state, you can simply select Zoom to Fit from this menu here. If you want to zoom to a specific area, you can select Zoom to Area, and then click, hold, move the mouse, then release. And then it will zoom to the area you indicated. Click Zoom to Fit again. And now let's talk about section view. If you want to have a section view of this model, you can select this option from here, section view, and then you will have this view and you can alternate between the planes so you can have different sections. You can change the angle by dragging this part here or dragging this one. Later on, we will talk in detail about this feature. For now, select Cancel. Let's talk about the orientation of this part. Select View Orientation, and then you will have all these options. As we know, each cube has 6 sides, and that's why you will have 6 views here. Whenever you move the mouse over any of them, you can see a quick preview of the view you will get. For example, let's pick the bottom view, and then we have this view. Once again, click here, and this time, let's select the right view, and we have this view. As a shortcut, hit this space bar, and then you will have the same menu here. Click and hold the middle button and move the mouse. Now you can rotate the view and you can pick any of these faces to be your view. If you want to select this one, you can see we have a quick preview here. And in this case, it's not only 6 faces, but we have all these additional faces. For example, select this one and you'll have this view. If you want to have a normal view to any existing flat face, simply select the face, and from this small menu here, select Normal to. Then Zoom to Fit, rotate the view, and let's talk about the display state. Click this arrow here, and you can see we have 5 options. The first one is shaded with edges, the ones we have now. The second one is shaded. Select it, and this is what you will get. The third one is hidden lines removed, so you cannot see any hidden lines here. Select the fourth one, which is hidden lines visible. In this case, you can see the hidden lines. And the last one is wireframe. Here you can see the hidden lines, but you will see them as solid lines. Let's go back to shaded with edges. So now we know how to rotate a model, to zoom to a model, to have a quick section, and to change the views. Next, we will talk about systems of units and how to manage them. Systems of units. In SolidWorks, it's very easy and flexible to change the system of units you use. To change the system of units, click this arrow here, and then you can see all the systems of units we have. The first one is MKS, which stands for meter, kilogram, second, and so on. To set a system of units for your work, you simply need to select any of these. In this course, we will use MMGS. Then click here. You can see MMGS listed here. You can change it anytime you want during using SolidWorks. Select it again, and this time select Edit Document Units. Here you can find the systems we talked about, And here you can define the number of decimals. Keep it this way. And if you move down, you can find the options for decimal rounding. If you want to use a customized system, you can select Custom. And here, for the length, for example, you can select the unit you want. And you can do it for the rest of the units, so you can have your customized system of units. For now, keep it on MMGS, then hit OK. And keep in mind that you can change the system of units anytime you want it during the design process. Next, we will see how we can change the system appearance. System appearance. In some occasions, you may use SolidWorks for long times. That's why it's very important that the light coming out of the screen to be easy on the eyes. And to control this, we need to control the system appearance. Go to Options, then go to Colors. Look at the icon color now, and here we have the icon color. We have the default, and we have Classic. If you select the Classic, then hit OK. Then we have it in green and yellow. Once again, select Options, then Colors, and return this to the default. Then we can change the background color. It means this background, without the working area. We have it light, default. You can use medium light, then hit OK. And now it's a little bit darker. Select Options again. And this time go all the way down to dark, then hit OK. Now we have it in black. Select Options again. And let's change the appearance of the working area. Here, you can find this option, Background Appearance. Use a plane, and make sure to use a viewport background. Then click Edit, and select any color you prefer. Then hit OK, and then OK again. And now the background color is changed. Select Options again, Colors, and this time try something different. Then hit OK. If you want to go back to the defaults, select Options, Colors. Make sure to select this option, and then select Reset Colors to Defaults. Then hit OK. And now you have the default colors. Next, we will see how we can save parts. Saving files. Once you create a new part file, as we did in the first video, SolidWorks automatically assigns a name for that part. Like here, we have part 1. If you want to save this part, it's easy and straightforward. Simply click Save, or expand these menus, and from File, you will find Save, Save As, and Save All. For now, let's talk about Save. Once you click Save, you will have this dialog box, and here you will need to write the file name. In this case, let's say X1. Then you need to define the type, and for now the type will be part, and the extension is SLDPRT. That's why keep it as is. And from here, you need to define the destination folder, then simply click Save. Now, as you can see here, the name is X1, which means part 1 is updated. If you want to save a copy of this part, open this arrow here and select Save As. We have 3 options here: Save as Copy and Continue, Save as Copy and Open. Let's select Save as Copy and Continue. Then, set the name to X2. and select Save. Since we selected Save Copy and Continue, we don't have that part open now. We still have the first part. Select Save As again. And this time, select Save As Copy and Open, and set this name to X3. Then select Save. And now, as you can see, the name is X3. This completes the first section of this training course. In the next section, we will start with the practical part of this course, and we will start talking about 2D sketching.